This song is called Immovable Mountain, and I can't think of a better 2 words to sum up how humbled we were after fighting the conditions of this trip. Not only do we really save some people on this one, but we also find, the best, deepest snow that we have so far this season. Even though this is the most dangerous trip I've done in a while, the experience overall was unbelievable. Trying to find camp. I'm not going to film much tonight, but I wasn't sure what to expect. Is this just going to be slush? I have no idea. But we got up here and we found real snow, and this is like fresh powder. There's no tracks. And of course, on our way up, there's like a severe winter storm warning going down. And so we might get 12 to 18 inches up here tomorrow, and it's already crazy deep. I had every reason not to come up here. In fact, I almost didn't come up here. I'm definitely trying to fight off getting sick. I can feel it coming. It rained all week where we live, and it wasn't like cold rainy, it was warm rainy, and I just wasn't sure if there was going to be any snow up here. But I just simply can't resist the temptation to come up and play in the snow with my friends. Snow season's here. I'm trying to take advantage, so I'm going to be drinking hot tea and taking all kinds of immunity boosters and shots, everything I can do in order to make it through the trip and have some fun with my friends. Mask any mistakes with cheese.
So what ties it all together, mate?
Your what?
The cheese.
The cheese? Yep. We've got a strategy so that we could be the first ones to the fresh powder, and that is we're going to sleep up here. Early bird gets the worm when it comes to fresh powder, so we're going to do everything we can to eat quick, head down the mountain, and get there first.
Okay, rolling out. I actually aired down to snow tire pressure.
What are you starting with today, Kelly, on the snow tire pressure?
We are at 4 psi starting out today.
Ooh, nice. I think you will be very happy with the 39 KO2 at 4 psi.
I think I will as well.
This winter storm warning is the real deal. We had one last weekend when we were camping down by Mount Rainier in my neck of the woods, but up here at Baker, I know that when they're saying there's a storm warning in a place that already gets so much snow, it is serious. And when I was looking at any kind of map data that showed any sort of cloud information, there's clearly something big moving in right now. Sorry about that. I don't mean to be up your ass or anything.
No, I had a false start. First gear is not the right gear.
Yeah, we've got stuck people in front of us already. No way.
Our snow culture up here is so rad, but kind of weird. We found some folks airing down on the trail. They weren't very happy to see us. We were asking, hey, mind if we just get by real quick? And they're like, well, we only got another tire. Like, they want to get to the snow first. We want to get to the snow first. It's honestly pretty ridiculous. But this is just life. You're going to have people in front of you. Here's the silver lining. I was asking, because I'm always friendly to strangers and stuff on the trail. I was asking, we were just kind of shooting the shit a little bit, and they said that there's a group of like a ton of Land Rover Defenders behind us, and then a whole bunch of like stockish Jeeps behind them. So the silver lining is we're only behind 2 Toyotas that look like they're gonna be great in the snow, and we're not behind like 20 Defenders and probably varying shapes and sizes, trying to help get them unstuck and whatever else. Not because they're Defenders, just because a lot of Defender owners are not on 39s and 40s and stuff. So we are still enjoying the day. The weather is still coming in. We're dropping elevation a little bit, but then when we get back up around 4,000 feet, I think we're gonna start to see some really deep stuff. We're gonna be respectful. We're gonna give this group of these 2 Toyota trucks their space, so wherever they turn off, we're not going to. So it's real easy in the snow to figure out where to avoid people because you just go where there's no tracks. The cool thing is this is going to give us the opportunity to explore some places in the area that we haven't been before, and we're just going to make the most of it, and I imagine that by the end of the day we'll end up crossing paths with these folks again anyway. This weather storm is really starting to come in now, which is awesome. It's really exciting. We're probably on like a foot or so of hard pack, super early in the season. Right now, we're anywhere between a foot and like 2.5 feet of snow, depending on the drifts and stuff that you're driving through. So the idea of getting another 12 to 18 inches today is pretty amazing. We are going to take the road less traveled. I mean, we can keep going on the established road.
Yeah.
I mean, that's for whoever. I don't know. I don't want to hate on any particular group.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
We just want to go that way.
We want to go that way. It looks deeper, it looks powderier, and it's narrower. So, does that equal funner? Let's find out.
Probably gonna get stuck here.
Oh, that's actually pretty deep. This little offshoot ended up not being very long, but I could tell Kelly was having a blast, so who am I to tell him to turn around? Eventually, he reached the end, he had to turn around anyway, and then we just continued down this road that none of us had been on before. It was hovering between like 3,800 and 4,000 feet, and even though our storm had clearly shown up and it was starting to like mound up, this wasn't a high enough elevation for us to get to the really deep stuff. Now, we found some cool spots to play in, and Kelly had a great time plowing, but eventually we just had to get to a higher elevation. So we turned around and we went up and followed the tracks where our Toyota friends were, and it did not disappoint. I made a big hole there. That's best done with a 7,000-pound truck on 39s.
That's deep right there.
That's, I mean, we'll call it hip deep. We normally call it something else, but we'll call it hip deep, for the internet.
All it takes is you don't pay attention for half a second and you get off the track and it totally screws you. And that's exactly what happened.
That's how you make Nate's hole. Kelly, you hop down there just so people at home can see how deep Nate's hole is. Dude, that is a hole, man.
It's waist deep.
Well, hey Aaron, don't drive there.
Yeah, don't drive here.
Yeah.
No.
Oh. There it is. Snow 10, baby. Look at that. Talking about, Kelly. Look at that thing go. Snow Stickies. Do you remember that pair of Toyotas that we ran into earlier in the day? Turns out they're super cool. I mean, most people that I run into off-road are. And when we got up to this big play area, they were just chilling. They had just been like plowing trail all the way up here, and they let us have first dibs, which was amazing. And as you're going to see, they ended up finding a spot that was a little bit more than hip deep.
That's deep.
Come on, gal. You got her. Oh, maybe not. There we go. You found the deep spot.
Yeah, I did.
Dude, I bet you're not even touching dirt either.
Oh, we're nowhere near it.
Yeah.
I did not want to go down here, but it started to go and I just had to commit. It was either that or risk it.
It's right around 2 o'clock, which means we have like 2 hours of sunlight left, if that's what you want to call this. And at the rate in which the snowfall is increasing, I think that it would be smart to find camp. So we say goodbye to our new friends. It was really fun hanging out with them. And it's time to go and find somewhere to shelter because I have a feeling that tonight's going to get pretty wild.
I think we found camp, which is good because we're clearly in the process of getting that 18 inches of snow that we ordered. I think it would be very beneficial for us to set up camp early. The cool thing is that little playground we were just at is right around this bend. And I know that on Saturday nights, a lot of people come up and they get wild. So we're gonna get set up and then hopefully we can get over there and get some cool footage of people night wheeling and doing some crazy stuff.
I don't know how to explain it, but I can just sense that the rest of this trip is going to be a fight. And, you know, I set up my rooftop tent. Aaron set up his. I think Kelly was feeling the same kind of vibes because he didn't set up his rooftop tent. He was considering sleeping in the truck just because there's going to be so much snow. He's wondering if it's going to like collapse his soft shell tent on top of him. And, you know, I'm feeling a lot better, to be honest with you, but I still feel like I need to continue to fight off this cold. But even though I have this sense of battle on the horizon, we still find a way to have a great time together.
It's either 3 or 4.
Oh, delicious, huh?
That one's not as bad as the other ones were.
It looked delicious. By the look on your face, it looked delicious.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, anguish and delicious look similar. That's interesting.
Yeah, I might have to like just stack it. Oh, it looks like it's. I did.
Mommy!
you had to say brilliant minds, okay?
You're right, it's my fault. It has nothing to do with your poor pouring technique.
Oh, that's the worst when it's hot water in the fabric, too. It just
keeps burning. I was like, oh, it's gonna subside any second now. Nope, it got worse.
While we were making food, I sent the drone up just to see if there was anybody new that is arriving at that big play area. And sure enough, there was a group of people. They had started a fire, and so we figured after we had dinner, we would walk over and check it out and meet some new people. And that did not go as to plan. Everybody had left by the time we got there, and so we went back to camp and just hung out, and I heard my awning collapse, and then later on I heard my tent collapse. And while we were in the middle of talking, we even had the gazebo collapse. So Kelly decided to sleep in his truck, and I came up with a solution to hopefully help keep my tent from eating me.
Good morning. You want to see something funny? That's my tripod I use to hold up the tent so it doesn't eat me in my sleep. We got a lot of snow last night. I think it might have turned to rain at some point, which means that this ride back is probably going to be pretty dangerous. You can hear Kelly over there. He started up his truck. He slept in his truck because he was scared his tent was going to eat him. So this is going to be an adventure getting out of here, I bet.
It snowed a ton, but like an hour before we got up and got going, it started raining, and it actually compacted all the snow to make it a little bit easier to get home. I mean, it honestly was more dangerous because you could look around, and it was very clear that some avalanche-like conditions were starting to form, but we were optimistic. It was easier to drive over the snow. We were making great time on the way out of there. I did pull a couple of people out that were getting stuck on their way up. I didn't film it because it was no big deal, But then we got to somebody who they really needed our help. But at least everybody had a great attitude. We were happy to help them. It cost us an extra couple hours getting down the mountain, but I couldn't just let somebody with no lower ball joint try to figure out a way to get down if I could very easily help them and I'm already on my way down. Aaron used a small electric chainsaw to fashion a ski that was then strapped using ratchet straps to the vehicle, and Aaron's ski worked great. I used my Land Rover. It did what it does best. It was heavy, and I just threw it in first gear, and I was able to yard this guy like, I don't know, 7 or 8 miles down the mountain or something like that. And then we had a white Jeep that was on the very back that was basically steering the Jeep by putting tension or loosening tension on the broken Jeep. So it was obviously quite the operation. But after a couple hours, we made it back down the mountain, and his wife was down there with a truck and trailer ready to load up their TJ.
Oh, man. Well, we need to get home. Thank you for watching the video, and I hope you enjoyed our weird little recovery at the end here. Make sure you help people who need it. We'll see you on the next one.
To meet you too.
Safe travels home.
I appreciate it.
Not a problem at all.